feel like blackness in itself is, or the black experience is being perverted. Like, it's being perverted to, perverted and packaged to sell to white audiences because it's what's trendy right now. That's the problem with Black AF, hashtag Black AF. Welcome. My name is Kaitiana, and we're gonna start off with a little smoke sesh. But we will be talking about the problem with Black AF, which is, or hashtag Black AF, which is the show that is, I guess, written, produced, directed by Kenya Barris. So yes, Kenya Barris is the writer. I should stop moving in this chair. Kenya Barris is the writer, producer, director, and all that good stuff for hashtag Black AF, Blackish, Grownish, Mixedish, all of that. Basically, those are all his, like, I guess, his shows. He's worked on numerous other projects. If you watch hashtag Black AF, he boasts about it the entire time. So, yeah, let's spark this blunt and then get into some things. Today, I am smoking. What the fuck am I smoking today? What the fuck is the, oh. Today I am smoking some weed. This, barely any more in there. Sorry, my nails ain't done, quarantine life. But I'm smoking this. It's from my local dispensary. And I mixed it with a little bit of this, same dispensary. I think they're both indica. Yes, they are both indica. Oh, I'm finna be knocked out, girl. Okay, but, so they're both indica, right? Let's get into it. Ooh. All right, so I don't even know where to start. The entire season has 8 episodes. And it's just, let me not say it's trash. Let's just, anyways, it's shot as a mockumentary kind of thing. So like a documentary, but they're mocking it. So I guess the daughter, one of the daughters, Drea, she is submitting this for a film project to NYU. So the concept in itself, like writing wise, because I'm a writer actually, writing wise is very interesting. It's very cool. Just the execution of it all was very poor. And you know what? Not even, no, yeah. I wouldn't even like say it's very poor, but it's just, there's a lot missing. There's a lot missing. It could have been better, I guess, to live up to a title that's supposed to be hashtag Black AF. But it's shot like Modern Family style, Modern Family-esque, or whatever. So you get commentary from all parts of the family and all that. They get their like confessional and shit, all that good shit. So I feel like the first thing was Kenya's character, who he plays himself. Rashida Jones is playing the mom, and all the badass kids is playing the kids, basically. All 6 of them. A lot, I know. Oh, shit. I just feel like the title is so ill-fitting. Oh, my God. It is horrible. Hashtag Black AF. From a upper-class, biracial family. Like, honestly, what are your issues? What are your issues? Seriously. There weren't any. And that's probably why I think the season was 8 episodes long, because honestly, what are you going to talk about? You're going to talk about how you benefit from colorism? Also, sorry for my fire alarm, because, yeah, it needs batteries. That hoe is beep, 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 beeping all over the place, But, yeah, like, what are you going to talk about? How you benefit from colorism? Like, and you know what? I'll give it to Rashida's character, Joya, I think, Joya. I'll give it to her character because she did talk about how being a biracial woman she always has to overcompensate for her blackness and things like that. Okay, I'll give it to you. Just the whole thing's a mess. Let's refer to the notes, honey, because I made plenty. And every episode is named Because Slavery, or Because Slavery, and like, believe it or not, this is because slavery. And also, you're not gonna believe this, but this is also because of slavery. We're just on vacation or something like that. Like, all the titles of the episodes are named that. And to me, it seems like, yes, obviously there were white people writing on this, but it seems like this show was made specifically for a white audience to consume. Like, it was made by a black person with some white friends, and they compacted it into this very digestible pill for the white audience to digest. They made it more digestible for them. They packaged black culture and put basically like a Kroger brand label on it, you know? So, yeah, like, I don't know. It's just weird. It really just seems like this show wasn't even meant for black people. Like, it's about black people, but it's not really for black people. It's for like white people and their black friends, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Yeah, there's not a lot of black presenting people on there. There's a lot of biracial people or just racially ambiguous people, which is fine. But my thing is with like film, we've never really gotten to see, or we have, but we don't get a lot of just representation of a real actual black family, you know? Like, so the fact that Kenya Barris is going so hard with all these mixed shows is crazy to me. And I'm saying this to say, or I'm saying this because all his shows already have like the structure of a biracial family. Like, literally all of them. Like, literally every single one of them. Like, it's just the same fucking show. It does not get old. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see Mixed Dish, but I mean, it's pretty obvious what it's about, you know? So, yeah. Yeah, I just have an issue with the lack of creativity, to be honest. I'm not saying that writing's easy. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying producing stuff is easy, directing stuff, putting stuff together. I'm not saying that that's easy. But I am saying that it is the same show repackaged, just with different characters. And it's always run on the basis of race, race, but mostly like just being biracial or racially ambiguous, which makes me think that he has some kind of fetish for it, Kenya Barris. So, yeah. And then, yeah, another thing that I noticed with all 8 of these episodes, there was a lot of focus on the daughters, I feel like, if that makes sense. They have 3 boys and 3 girls. So I feel like a lot of the episodes were particular about the way the girls lived and their lifestyle, and I guess navigating life as a black woman, they would say in the show. Even though they kind of don't. I mean, they do, obviously. The thing is, with colorism and all that, like, just being biracial, you have certain benefits and advantages that, like, a person like me who's fully black does not, if that makes sense. Like, you are the kind of person who could jump in and out of blackness. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just be aware of it and, not use it to put other people down, if that makes sense. Anyways, yeah, there's a lot of focus on the girls in this show, I feel like. And I thought it was kind of interesting that Kenya Barris had this kind of fixation on the way black women were navigating their lives, or I guess how he thinks they do. I just thought it was kind of weird for a man to speak on that. while, I remember he said I'm smoking honey Dutchess. And I know people are gonna judge me. I don't really care. Anyways, so look, there was one of their other daughters. I think she's the oldest one. She's in college, and she dyed her hair purple. It was just a funky ass wig. But it was cute. So the purple hair, right? So yeah, her dad's FaceTiming her or whatever, and her dad FaceTiming her, and he calling her a thought because she got purple hair. He's like, "What happened to your hair?" He calling her a thought. I'm like, a thought for purple hair? You supposed to be her dad, your black dad, calling your daughter a thought? You think that's gonna help her? And there's another episode where they all getting high at some event, at a music event, and I guess he don't know his daughter there. He called her a thought there too, which is crazy because yeah, she had the purple hair, but and like it was barely a crop top, like. But either way, yeah. And another thing that I was thinking about is like so much talking, background noise and shit. But what I was thinking about was like their relationship already, the way they raise these kids and stuff is already, it's just not relatable. Like, it's not relatable. And there's nothing wrong with also like showcasing a black family, like, oh, okay, they're rich, you know, or they're upper class, and, you know, they have nice things and stuff. Like, not all shows centered around blackness, or I guess the black experience, should I say. Not all of that has to necessarily be negative. Like, I've been seeing people, places on the internet just saying like, oh, well, I don't like seeing like shows about drugs and this and that. Like, first of all, we didn't ask for those shows either. But also some of those, it's just like, that's just the experience. Oh, I kicked my camera, my bad. Anyways, no one's saying that Kenya Barris can't make this show about an upper class family. But to call it BLACKAF, I feel like that's very inclusive of our entire community. You know what I mean? And it just wasn't. It just really wasn't at the end of the day. Like, there are upper class black families that don't even act half the way his ass was acting in the show, because they were so like prideful. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you come from nothing. Shit, there is nothing wrong with that. But it was just arrogantly so. I feel like it was arrogantly so to the point where he would bring up race at a time where it wasn't applicable, or it wasn't necessary, in my opinion. Yeah, just the writing could have been better. Kids was cussing at their parents, calling them dicks and stuff. Yeah, I would have been dead. Like, I just would have been dead. I can't even imagine doing that now. Like, I could barely cuss in front of them now, and I'm 23. So, that's saying something. Anyways. Yeah, I just hate that you could kind of tell that it's very surface. Maybe this is like his humiliation initiation into the Illuminati or something. I don't know. What I do know is I just hate that every time he like tries to bring up some kind of black issue, it's because of slavery. Like, no. It's white supremacy now, boo-boo. I think the adultification thing was weird because they were talking to their light-skinned daughters, and not saying that they don't experience that. A lot of women do. Most women do. All women, honestly, once they start going through puberty, men be looking at them weird, and that just says something about our society. But anyways, they were talking to their light-skinned daughter about adultification, which, yeah, okay, I get it. But they do this a lot just with black kids in general. Like, you know, they will try a young boy for, like, a minor crime and to send his ass to jail type shit. And they will, you know, always look at us young black women like sexual objects to just, like, either snatch up, like kidnap, you know, traffic. Like, it's all that. So they didn't really talk about adultification. Like, they just skimmed over it. Like, I really feel like Kenya Barris just wanted to make a show about himself, and he should have just did that. He should have just did that. Like, I feel like he just really wants to make a show about how he's a black man living in a biracial world. And he should have just, like, did that. It's white supremacy, and it affects us both ways. Let me just tell you that. I can't speak on your experience as a black man. I can only go off what I see, what I hear, you know, what I live around type shit. But I'll never be able to truly experience it. And you can never really understand my experience. And how, you know, black women feel, if that makes sense. Like, the system has affected us both in very different ways. It's very layered. You know, we have a lot of things coming at us. And that's another thing I don't like, just the whole writing of it all so forced. Like, they using all this new, like, new slang and stuff. Like, the parents are talking about Liddy. And I'm like, that's mad weird, bro. I don't know. Maybe y'all parents do that. Mine don't. But also, yeah, no, mine don't. They just don't. They're old. They say old people shit. I mean, what the fuck? That's what they do. It's just so weird. And it's not just the parents that do it. Other characters do it. So, and it's so cringy. Like, oh, yeah. And I think Shawty called her man a bitch or something. And I was like, girl, what? Black AF? Black AF? Man, girl. There's no way in hell you gonna call a nigga a bitch. And he just gonna sit there and be like, who, me? Girl. And another thing I didn't like in the show is that when they were doing that whole table thing, when I guess Kenya was at work with the writers, you know, like in all his other shows. Well, I watch BLACKAF. Every time I say all his other shows, I mean BLACKAF. Like, I've watched BLACKAF, so that's what that was. And BLACKAF was actually, like, I didn't even think it was still black. Like, watching it, I still didn't think it was black, you know? But, it's a lot better than this shit, I'll tell you that much. A lot more well thought out and everything. And look, the mom is Tracy Ellis Ross. She's a biracial woman, and guess what? Her name is Bo, like his actual Rainbow, like his actual wife. That's why I think this nigga's like obsessed with himself. Like, I think he's a Leo. I'm gonna look up his chart. But yeah, like they was writing at the table or whatever, and this black dude called this black girl, kind of black, you know, they all biracial on the show, a bitch. And she was just sitting there. I'm like, in real life, hashtag Black AF in real life, honey, it's quiet for Kenya. Let's just put it that way. Right now, it's quiet for him. He need to go back to doing anybody else's show but his own, to be honest. To be honest, like, we can't get like a Bernie Mac show. We can't get like another Insecure. Like, my thing is, we don't have the representation already of a united black family, like a black family, not black-ish, you know what I mean? Not hashtag Black AF, not mixed-ish. We don't even have just one like black show. We don't have the representation. So why are you trying to elevate it to something else when we don't even have it here? It's not solid here. It's not solid at home, baby. What is you doing? Like, I'm trying to figure it out. So I don't know. And that's just applicable in real life too. I feel like we need to have the conversation. I feel like a lot of people don't want to have the conversation. You know, there is a little disconnect between black men and black women right now of my generation, because everybody I know older than me, well, most of the couples I know older than me, it's black love, baby. But yeah, ooh, I think it's a fetish thing. I really think it's a fetish thing. And it's just internalized self-hate, you know, internalized like misogyny. You know, there's a disconnect in our community. And I do specifically want to talk about that, but I think I want to talk about it with a black man present. Maybe a couple girls. So we'll see. I need to do some research, a little dialogue. But yeah, Kenya Barris, stop making shows. We're fucking sick. Shit was sickening. That is the problem with hashtag BLACKAF. It's misrepresenting the community. It's not hashtag BLACKAF. Does he know the AF means as fuck? Does he know that? Not just black for him. I feel like Kenya Barris kind of perverted blackness, and that he's using a lot of stereotypes to make his shows pop and sell, which is like mad corny. But I mean, I guess, and it reinforces the stereotypes too. So it's just a lose-lose. It's really a lose-lose for me. And it's so crazy because there's a lot of discourse within the black community about agendas being pushed and stuff, like the gay agenda and the feminist agenda. Meanwhile, like, y'all so not worried about the right things. Y'all be talking about, oh, the black community, we don't know how to unify, when you literally have people stepping outside of their own, like, culture, and they want to procreate with other cultures. It's to the point where there's like a resentment, like a hate towards one another within our culture for like stupid reasons. It's like you see all these other agendas just because of things you don't subscribe to and things your mama and daddy taught you when you was growing up type shit, that you don't see people actively not wanting to be with black people. Like, is that not weird? Is that not like a red flag? You know what I'm saying? Like, every culture, they be wanting to be with their own people, and it's like black people who are actively breaking up our own families with these recessive ass genes. But like I said, you know, at the end of the day, love who you love. You know, I'm just saying, y'all see all this other stuff going on, but y'all don't see colorism. y'all don't see how y'all breaking up black families right there with that. Okay, but yeah, that's the problem with hashtag BLACKAF. Maybe that was a little too opinionated. I doubt it. That was the tea. That's just what the fuck needed to be talked about. All right, well, hope y'all enjoyed that. Feel free to add to this discourse. Put what you think down in the comments. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.